or it won't. There we go.
Are we
Hello.
live?
What's
We are
happening?
live.
We're live, and we're not gonna. I mean, we're gonna let people come in, obviously, before we start talking about serious topics. But it's been a minute, so it was really time to talk to everybody.
Yep,
Obviously,
we're
so
still here. Hey,
yeah.
Sean.
What's up,
Sean's
Sean?
here.
If you've never seen us before, I'm Amy, and that's Ryan. If the name Amy and Ryan's Weird Adventures is completely lost on our faces, I'm the Amy part.
I'm the Ryan part.
Yeah, so been investigating ghosts for a while. It's fun.
But hey, we've been gone for a little while. We've been doing some stuff with the house and getting things ready to live in the house without a whole lot more work. And now that stuff's kind of coming to completion,
Yeah,
it's time to get back out there.
yes. It's
So
also winter happens. And it was right before winter that we had the house work done, which was the main center of our house, right behind the wall that you're behind. And it was a lot. So we couldn't do a lot. And we had to focus on this. I've painted everything in this house minus, oh yeah, minus, I don't know, 2 rooms, 3 rooms.
pretty much,
I
yeah.
am done painting over it, but
Done
it's a
a
lot.
done a
That's what
lot
we've
of
spent a
a
lot of
lot of
time
work
on.
around here, just on the property in general, the house, big remodel. Yeah, it was a lot, but we needed to do this. We needed a forever home, and we certainly found it here.
Right.
And
We live here, so it was kind of like,
some of you guys might have heard that
hey guys.
there's been a bit of activity in the house. Nothing crazy or serious,
I
but
messaged you and you didn't respond to my recent bout of what the fuck was that?
yeah,
Yeah. Did you get maybe a text message that you recall that you didn't respond
no,
to? Okay. What? All right.
no, I didn't.
That's fine. So I was
Hi
in the,
Tim, hi Diane.
you guys. So I was in the house and it was 1 p.m. ish. I have receipts. But I heard a thump thump like loud, and it wasn't here. It was like over at
Well,
least 10 feet away or like
that's
muffled, and I
that's the
don't know what to
haunted
tell you.
room according to the previous owners. So,
I'm just
yep,
saying,
my sister has
I let you
joined.
know. What's up, everybody? I let you know that something made an absolutely weird noise that was not the heat. Like I know the heat noises, and I was just like, oh.
And once in a while, you get a little creepy feeling. I do in the basement. That's
Yeah,
for
you've had
sure.
basement
That's
issues.
where I dwell.
He's a basement boy.
It's where all my music gear is
No,
and
but I have
whatnot.
receipts.
But sometimes I'll be deep into playing, and I feel like somebody's right behind me. I had a touch on the top of my head a couple of weeks ago. I
Yeah, and
told
what's
you
funny
about.
is because he's like 2 floors down, he FaceTimes me in the house to let me know
I
that it's
wanted
not
to
okay.
FaceTime you immediately,
Yeah, I
so
know.
you could
I know.
maybe it would happen again. But yeah, that was weird. That it was like a cold finger touching my head, and then the tingle stayed for a little bit. But I don't think there's anything to worry about here. And as you all know, and the reason you're here, we're into this sort of stuff. But
We don't go looking for it. Like we've
no,
thrifted items, and but when Ryan hates me in thrift stores because I I get insufferable. But I always go into these places
Julie,
looking for like really specific things, or they need to like fulfill a specific role in the house. They can't just like be on display. So I get really stern. I'm looking around and I get all cranky about it. And it's a lot of fun. But I don't go looking for like haunted things. But we have thrifted shit, and like I've
yeah,
nothing. I don't. I How am I gonna know if it's like, oh, it's this dresser that something's
right.
really upset about? So you're in this house now. Sorry.
I like old
Sucks to be
instruments,
you.
vintage instruments, and
Right, you have tons of stuff that could
people
absolutely be more
people
haunted than so many types of objects.
they
Guitars.
pour their heart and soul into these instruments, and then I come along 50, 60 years later and bring them home and do the
Again, tough,
same.
tough
So
shit stuff.
who knows? But little things have been happening here since we moved in,
There is,
and
there is.
it's no
Hey,
surprise. The
Shelton.
old owners filled us in on a lot of interesting stories
Why
here
don't
and
you tell
things they
some? Because I don't think we
experienced. Well,
have.
in the room next to us that way, the one Amy heard a thump in, there was a book that
Was it that
apparently
one?
flew off of the dresser right in front of the girl that that was her bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
There's been numerous folks that have passed away in the house. By numerous, I mean two. And yeah, it's
First, let's scare. There's been numerous deaths here. There have been two, but two is more than
two
that
is
some
numerous.
people have had. You
Two
know, right?
is too many.
It's
hey,
normal.
Justin.
It's normal. People die in houses. I think most people hope to be like, I hope I'm asleep and in my own bed rather than wherever. I don't want to think about that, but
it's nothing serious.
Aging rapidly,
it's kind of
no.
fun. We don't worry about it. You know, this
I don't.
house
Yeah,
is
no, it's not like we're walking around worried.
82 years old, I believe.
No, it's like 75.
78 years old.
There it is.
1946. Yeah.
That's the math.
So it's a lifetime, and
How embarrassing.
yeah, it's great. We love it, and that's what we've been up to primarily. And we've tried to do little things on the channel, but we're not a weekly upload channel, and that goal is pretty ambitious if you work, and if you have lives outside of what you do. But
and if you're making something of quality every time for a week,
it takes a while to crank out like full investigation videos. But now that the house has been basically remodeled and made to our liking, it's time to get back out there. So this year is going to be a big ramp up for us.
We're going back to haunted places.
We have
we're
few
returning
returns.
to one. Wait, what's our return?
New locations.
Two return. One return for me, a new one for you. That's exciting. Also, a return to this channel by somebody who you've seen early on.
Yep.
Her name is Jody.
Yep, she was there at the beginning when I showed up, and we're hauling her out of balls for another one, and that's going to be fun.
She lives in a closet.
We love Jody, and
it's time we just got fun and weird.
Her thoughts on the paranormal are very interesting. She thinks outside the box. She's not necessarily an investigator, but is open to all the stuff. So she
will sleep on the floor of a supposed morgue in Randolph County Infirmary, like no problems, with like 2 blankets. We were like, did you bring a cot? Nah.
If you need somebody to do something scary or crazy, she's the one to hit up. But Ian Tartaski has a memory of our home.
Possession parlor.
That's going to light this whole group on fire.
Oh, dear.
Thank you, sir.
Listen. It's fine. It's good. We've redone an absolute ton and if you hear a bouncing ball, it's not a child, it's a dog.
You want to harken back to the house and tell that story?
I don't think we need to tell that story.
Yeah.
But we know a certain group of friends are aware of a particular incident that pertains to the fact.
Aware they were here.
Well,
yeah. Some weird stuff,
I give up. We haven't been live in a while. What's up?
Yeah.
They were here. Our friends were in the room below us. And tell the story.
Okay, we had some friends over for the first time. The house was a little disheveled still. It was still very much looking like how it was when we bought it. And we were sitting around a table. And I wasn't in the room for the beginning of this, but I came up and one of our friends was having some difficulty. I mean, he had like one drink.
Not even.
Yeah, not even. It was like a shot, like one of those little mason jar shots. And he's all hunched over and, like, what's going on here? And he just did not sound like him. He did not look like him. And he ended up in the bathroom and he had some issues and we had to, get him home. And
he had no recollection of anything happening until he was in the bathroom and was like, why am I in the bathroom? And then was like, all parties have been informed about this.
And later we found out from the old owners that the exact spot he was sitting is where the last person to pass away in the house actually passed away.
If we had special effects and sound effects, now is when I'd be like, dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
But
So make of it what you will.
Exactly.
I don't know, but it's
stretch in
awful
my mind.
Weird. It's awful
See the
weird.
way
we didn't know at the time.
He goes, it's awful weird, and I go, that's a stretch at the same time.
I think it's weird.
I think it's a possibility, but
weird. I don't know about any sort of possession, but
no, that would be.
It's odd.
I'm here
really
too much.
odd.
I feel like I would be possessed by this point.
Well,
maybe not. I don't know the rules.
Anywho.
That did happen.
It happened, yes. And
welcome to our housewarming.
We are So we're basically here to tell you all that we're back, and we got a crazy summer ahead of travel and seeing some cool places and getting back in there and spending the night. And
there's 3 places that are new that you've never seen on our channel this year.
Yep, which is always good.
And they end, all our investigations end by August, which means that we'll have a nice, we're going to do things a little different when we do our videos. We are going live in all of these places, and we have a new device. This thing is an iPad. I look and sound like a
No
boomer.
one's ever heard of this before.
Shut
It's
up.
completely brand new. It's new technology that no one's ever seen. You can touch it and things happen.
All these screens.
Cool. I don't know. You'll hear about it eventually. But
Show my age harder. Listen, we're going to try to stream on multiple platforms at the same time. So that's what's going to happen. We're also going to do like members only segments so that channel members really have their own and it never goes public. And then we're going to have our main big episodes. We're going to do redoing the way we do things and doing a wee bit more.
Justin said, "Welcome to 2004."
I know.
Right? This is my life.
I got to go charge my iPod. Yes.
So yeah, it's really exciting to be able to see some new places that we haven't been.
Yeah.
We've been trying to get into a couple of them for a while, and finally
there's a lot of people out there investigating. I swear these places are crowded up, like whoop, they're gone. Some are almost inaccessible at this point.
We're trying to keep a little bit under wraps where we're going, because we want to try and drop these videos in succession,
a little more. Yeah.
During the
did we say
time
yes
of year.
to do that or no to do that?
I don't think we've fully decided yet.
We haven't fully decided. We're going to do things a little.
The first investigations
going to do things
coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yes, it's soon.
So I think at that point we'll decide whether we're going to drop them all during spooky season or
say that again like that.
I can't.
Oh.
It was totally spontaneous. But yeah.
No, it's going to be fun. We have live things.
I'm very much looking forward to getting back in the swing of it. This is why I do it. I like the adventure. I like getting in there and going for it.
It's not for the road trips with me.
It's fine. We do
good. We do good for road trips. Was our last road trip Iowa?
Thousands of miles. Yep.
Oh man, did we do good?
My sister and family at Christmas.
We did.
We drove it all in one trip. I think it was 16 and a half hours. It was rough, but we'll be going back to Iowa for one of them. We can tell them about.
All right, that's the big return for you and I.
The return is to the Villisca Axe Murder House, which is now under new management.
And I know that's controversial.
Our first trip there was so awesome.
It was. We didn't know what we were walking into. I mean, you can see as much as you can on TV and on other shows that do the same thing. I don't know. There's something about some of these places. Most of these places, I think when you see them in person, you're like, oh, this is how it's going to be. So my expectations are always like, oh, all right, okay.
It was really cool. We had a lot of interesting activity, including the Rumble.
Yeah, that's
the videos
weird
on our channel, and
other investigators have had the same thing happen. I like when that kind of makes you go, oh, what? But yeah, no, it's definitely things are changing, because the family that bought it, the couple that bought it in 92 or 3, I think the woman is now at an age where she can't really take care of this property. Months ago old, when I learned that it's the same company as the Lizzie Borden house new owners, not the same guy. It's a company. I didn't know that. I just want to put that out there. I didn't know that. And I hope it doesn't change the experience at this house or the ways are done. I don't know if Johnny Hauser is still there, but he was like the nicest dude.
Yeah.
And he knows a ton. And it would be cool if it went not exactly the same, but similar, but cooler, but not awful, because it is a touchy history subject. It's a weird one. It's the weird one.
And we tried something a little different the last time we were there as far as how we produced the video.
We sure did.
Little theme, basically paranormal investigating 1976 style, which was a lot of fun to do.
It was cool.
But this time it'll probably be more straightforward. And we got some new toys to play with. We'll see how that works out. One really cool toy, which we'll keep under wraps until the videos, but
you've only seen a little bit. Like I've talked about like what it is, but as far as like how we're going to utilize it, it's going
to be fun.
some alteration. Other than that, it takes some electricity, and so the places have to have a plug in the wall or we have to have a machine with us to plug it in.
It's a lot of driving. May not be a big deal for you guys. That's a lot in the UK.
Yeah,
no
everybody
doubt.
in Europe is like 3 hours. I'm in a new
I
country,
think
and it's like,
16
no, that's
hours would be 2 laps around
it would be.
the island.
It would. It would be the whole thing. No,
Yeah.
no Ireland. But eh, sometimes you have
But
to go to Iowa. I don't know.
We're at least flying to Iowa this time.
Yeah,
but all
no.
the rest are pounding the pavement again.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the other ones are in like Ohio, which is, on the internet in like the late 90s. I don't know if you guys were there too, but Jeff Bellinger's Ghost Village. I used to love that website. And like to this day, you can still see posts and forums where it's like, Ohio is the most haunted state. And being in New York, I was like, who's that? What two people in Ohio the most and you would be surprised to find out that like a lot of it's just a weird spot historically.
I've lived here in New York for 7 years, and I've been to Ohio every year that I've been here, and I had never been there once in my life before that.
I know,
and I
before
lived closer
2017
to it, but they have a lot of locations and a lot of cool history there as well.
It's not to say there's not places everywhere, but a lot of the rentable overnight, well-known makes it to TV is like in this like chunk.
Yep.
I think you can go from like Western Pennsylvania to West Virginia to Ohio to Indiana, and it's like this. The Midwest is haunted. What's going on out there with the casseroles and the haunts and the you know what I mean? There's a theory.
The casseroles and the haunts.
That's our new podcast. No, but Sean mentioned it. Speaking of podcast, I've been going back in with a microphone and Eidolon and putting new content on the old content, getting ready to do yet another season. Because if there's someone who can go on a tangent, it's your girl right here. So I'll keep making that. And the end of this week, we've got like the last 4 to come out, and some are personal, some are historic, but any topic is on the table. It's on it. I'm so glad to see these people here. This makes me so excited.
It's a great podcast. She does a great job, and everybody should check it out. Give it some love.
Thank you. I tried,
but based on how it's received, it'll keep going or not, and I
whether you like it or not,
I think it should. It's
I'm gonna make things.
It's I'm glad that you put it out there. So.
Oh my God! Yes.
I'm not so much involved in that, but
do you know that I try to
best.
I try to do a good job, but do you know that I used a microphone that is absolute garbage when I started re-recording new stuff, and you know what it comes down to? Me talking into this. I can't believe I bought a crappy micro. I need his help because he knows all the things, but all of his gear is for like Pro Tools, and I am a dweeb with a breaking laptop. We're trying here. Our part of our going forward is we should change the way we do a few things, and we should also upgrade some of the equipment we have, because it's been it's been a minute. Like I used to buy IR lights like every 6 months, like maybe this one will light up everything better and we can all see better. And that was mostly to be like, oh, I hope I can use footage in the dark that doesn't suck and people can see and I can make a video. And now it's more like, how can we really experience this the best way we can, but also show without. And we've noticed like IR lights are sometimes a jerk. Sometimes fine, be in the dark and show.
I think they're good for when you're going
certain
solo.
Things, yeah.
And you're trying to really get into the darkness.
Test yourself, yeah.
I think that's a good thing to have at your disposal. But when you're in a group, to light paint is part of the aesthetic of making a cool video.
And I have to say, I think it's also about trying to be a better creator every time you go and do the thing and learning along the way. Because boy, it's taken me some time to learn, like when you're making a slow shot, you have to go slower than you think you do, or else it's just worthless garbage. Like you teach yourself how to tell these stories, and you teach yourself how to put these stories together visually and audially.
Yep. So we're gonna further experiment with the use of music in these places. Yeah. We're gonna further experiment with the use of the DR60 that we got. See if we can figure out anything more about it and whether there's any legitimacy to it. I think we have nailed down what is the mechanical sound it's making, and what is an EVP, and for the most part,
Yeah.
they sound different.
Yeah.
They just do. And we're gonna keep working with that. We're gonna have ourselves a
Why
new
not?
little portal that we're gonna try to use, that we're gonna build up pretty much from scratch.
Well, it's
And
the same one you've seen, but it's, anybody who knows guitars and
it's
amps
my
and
style.
pedals
Yes.
has seen this, has played a song on this
Yeah.
before they've tried to talk to the paranormal.
I mean, there's so many
otherworldly.
crossover things with the gear, that it's crazy,
Theremin, yes, we do. We have a theremin. It's insane. It's loud.
It
It's
is.
loud.
And if it makes any
Loud.
noises at all, that's going to be weird. 'Cause
No,
it
that's
should not.
rigged up. But the cool thing, we should explain what separates like a REM pod from a theremin is the REM pod is like, behold my popcorn salt. It is like one item, one antenna, and the theremin is much larger,
Yeah.
and it has volume. It's like pitch
Like that
and volume.
big antenna on one side, and there's another volume, but
Those are instruments.
we're just gonna set it up and leave it and invite. It casts such a wide EMF field that perhaps it'll be a little easier to interact with. I don't know. We're gonna have a portable power cell that we bring along, so that we can run it anywhere, no matter where we are.
Yeah, the box of electricity.
That'll be crazy.
And it can be altered too, is the other thing. It can be changed to have an even more massive range, where a REM pod sits in just one little blip. And this makes some cooler noises. I don't know, if you ask me, it's got a lower pitch and a lot more stuff going on.
The closer you get, the higher the pitch it makes. No different than a REM pod, but just way more annoying and way louder. And we'll definitely know even if we're not in the room. So at the places that do have electricity hooked up, we can just leave it all night. It's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, no, it's pretty neat.
I'm excited about that one especially. But to see how it reacts in some of these places is going to be interesting.
And you have a new instrument to take into old places.
Yep.
And you have an old instrument that's new to you to take into old places that are new to us. Oh, look what I did there.
It'll sound a little better. I just want to get in there and into some of these places and sit by myself and just play, and then stop and play and see what happens.
Yeah.
Invite communication by music, and that's my intention, anyways.
Well, tell them about this type of guitar. Or are you keeping it a secret?
Nobody's gonna know what it is.
Oh.
It's a Guild M20 all mahogany X braced from 1964. It's all beat up. Nobody has an idea.
Oh.
If anybody knows what that is,
me neither.
Put it in the comments here. Put it in the chat.
But the pickguard is super warped.
Yeah, it's
old. It's from the
seen
60s,
before a lot. It's been played and loved, and I feel like that energy that it's soaked up from whoever did that to it is not a bad thing.
Who did this to you? We don't know who hurt you, but he's getting work done and getting ready to go into haunted locations.
That's what it is. A halo.
What's that?
That's the portable electricity box.
Oh.
Yep. Definitely looking into those.
That or the Blue Eddy. We don't need a Blue Eddy. We're not trying to go off grid.
Since it's been a minute, anybody have any questions for us? We haven't seen y'all in a little minute.
What'd you guys have for dinner?
Justin has no clue what I just said about that guitar.
Oh, no.
Can you believe it?
It's a surprise. Every time he comes upstairs and tells me there's something on reverb or whatever that needs to get, I just listen to the words about what all these things are and go, maybe, all right, cool.
Is that what you do? I think
I can't remember them. I can't remember that. I don't even remember what you said. It's a Guild guitar from the 60s.
Yep.
Do you see how much I retained? And somehow I got through school. I passed all of school. That's cute, isn't it? No, but that's our plan. What is our the return is Villisca, but we also have a guest on that. We'll keep it secret for now unless they want to drop that information. That's up to you. But it's what is somebody trying to be on the podcast?
No, it's my daughter.
Yeah, is she trying? Oh, wait. You should text her about the package.
It's okay. I did.
So there's a special guest in Villisca, and those are some of the that's the other cool thing is we can be there with someone else who also grew up with your experience or some of
Yep.
your similar experience in the paranormal, which is always neat. And I only know more about that place now because I went down such intense rabbit hole, which is also, I know it's weird because it's true crime. And I know I feel like Velisca kind of gets a pass sometimes in the paranormal or for the way people speak about it because it's old. It's early 1900s. Like, it's not an 1800s crime. We could just, nobody exists from, like, we could get away with it. Like, that's kind of the, I'm gonna be real with you. That's kind of the mindset that comes along with some of this stuff and the way people speak on the true crime that's embedded within and married to the paranormal. And I feel like we've always tried to approach Velisca like, what are we going to get out of this? Because we know what happened. We can't change it. It's awful. We also don't want to. We don't want to be offensive, let alone offend anyone out there. Those families have descendants. They do, the Moore family, and it changed. The crimes changed the way those families lived and the way the town lived. And so we've always tried to be super not jerks about that one, even though it's an attraction
Don't really have to
that's
try, really.
overnight.
You know, it's open to experience, and
How many other
that's
people
what
have been
we're
there and
doing.
done whatever they've wanted to do?
I
So,
mean, we're
I
by
guess
far not the first. You know.
no, that would be interesting. Imagine the first. Who were the first people to overnight in Velisca? If anybody knows that, put that in the comments. I want to talk to those people. Don't say the
I
owners.
think that it's just like camping. You pack out what you pack in, and that's how you do it. You
Well,
know.
yeah, you can't just leave.
You
I mean, people try to leave haunted dolls and gifts in some of these places,
When
but
did
that's not the
YouTube
one.
start putting ads in live streams? There was an ad in this live stream. Hmm.
Did it cut us
odd.
off? Because
Yeah.
I saw nothing.
Hi, Tiffany. Hello.
It's monetized, but it's like for later. That's afterward. Then it like cuts it, and you can change. The platform has updated and changed things since we've literally been live because we've had a winter, we've had the house change, we've changed houses, we got rid of the old house. There's just been a lot that's happened. We got a new couch. Let me tell you, that was long overdue. A couch you actually want to sit on. We didn't know for 8.5 years what that felt like. We used to have a couch that would like tilt you off ever so slightly. Like you'd get 5 minutes, and then it was just like, I gotta get off this. Yeah, yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
A thing to sit on, which obviously we're very fortunate about. But yeah. Oh, so there's ads on the television, not the TV, on the telephone, on the
I don't know.
Rude.
I wouldn't be shocked if that's what they were doing.
I've
watched other live streams, included Justin's Paranormal Monkey podcast. There was
but
no
nobody
ads
gets
in
cut
that.
off. Yeah. No, it depends on if you're monetized or not, whether they'll put a thing. They have their own rules. They're a multi-million-dollar corporation. We just play by the rules. We just play by the rules. Nobody heard anything. It's fine. No, but we use the platform. And if you don't know us or have never heard of, all of these people know us, but what if you're somebody who's watching later? We're in New York State. It snowed today for 5 minutes. I gave the window the finger because that's rude, and it'll go back up to 53. We investigate how many places would you say we've investigated? We should do ourselves a trivia. How many places do you think that you and I have gone together?
Probably
after this many years?
55 of them, somewhere in there, I would guess. If you count all the other little
side
missions,
quests included, that's a lot.
Probably 100, I would say. Probably with all of those, we'd have to look through the videos, but yeah, it's been
That's
been
probably
a lot,
the closest guess. Yeah,
it's been a very fun ride, and I'm ready to resume.
That's a lot of gas money. That's a lot of in the car.
One thing
it's a
I
lot
do
of work.
know is that we're always going to be here. We're always going to do this. It's always. So when we're old and gray and the spirit is white,
It's
we'll
down to
still
his
be sitting
knees.
here telling you about the weird stuff that we've encountered, and hopefully still making videos.
What is there to stop for? Who's got the answers? Who are you out there has figured out all the answers?
Indeed.
So I guess we can just keep going. We just keep on going and have a good time.
You know, the internal goals are always should be the main ones. You know, we love our friends and our community, but you know, ultimately it comes down to you in that dark room. You know, it's just you in the dark room and whatever's in the dark. And
That's a good.
that's
you
the
in
fun
that
of it.
dark room.
That's the fun of it for me, anyways.
That's how we're gonna open the new videos this year.
Have you ever been to Hinsdale together? Tiffany asks.
We have.
Indeed.
We have. That was a while. That was one of those while ago. 2018.
Yep.
No.
That was
yeah.
like the
summer.
second or third that
It was
we had
summer.
done together, and it was a very quiet night, other than the people coming over to gawk at the house.
Oh man, we had roll-ups like crazy. They would just roll up,
Yep.
and then they would.
And that place is out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you gotta
I'm not
want to
sure
find it.
if Tiffany knows, but it is way out in the middle of nowhere. So you gotta want to go there.
Good to see you. Yeah, you want it. You gotta. Oh man, if you want to go in winter, you risk being there longer than you want to be if it snows. But would you believe the town of Hinsdale plows go all the way up to the haunted house at the top of the hill, and it's the last house on the road. That's, I guess, how you know you're there also as well. But they do plow, and just it's a steep hill.
Yep.
But the house has a great, interesting
tail. Has a tail.
I talk about this place. It has its real history. It has a factual known history. And I'm just going to give you a hint, and I'm going to drop it in this live stream, and I don't know where else I'll land this, but in my Instagram bio is the highlights where I've taken a story and it's there permanently. How old do I sound describing stories right now?
Trying to tell you about technology that's been around for decades.
There's a particular highlight on Instagram that gives you a link to an article about Hinsdale House. You might want to read. Other people know about this as well. Anyway, no, we went to Hinsdale and we tried, and I've been there again with other people who tried. And the only thing that happened was when we were there, I could tell the picture frame story. I talk too much and I talk too loud, and even when I meet people for the first time, I'm like, bleh! And I know not everyone likes that, but I was doing that, and I was talking about the Hinsdale house because I was so stunned that I found all this information and everything that has been on every show, article, a lot of other creators, is a lot of stuff gets really misconstrued. And when I found this article, I was like, you guys got to hear this. So as I was explaining this, behind me was the bathroom. There's only one bathroom, and there's a shower in there in case you want to try that. And we've never showered in haunts. I have a boundary. And so as I'm talking, all of a sudden there's a bang and the light goes out, and we're all like, and I turn around and a picture frame had come off the wall, hit the light switch, and landed in the sink. Thankfully, nothing was broken because that could have sucked. Well, it could have sucked. But it was one of those picture frames that has the little claw teeth, and it was on a nail. So how it went, and it was right as I was being my usual forcefully speaking self, talking about the house. So if you're going to use ghost logic, and I use that phrase in a lot of things, the blogs and everything, I don't know what else to call it, but the dogma of this field, maybe it triggered something.
I think it's more likely that it was you. A little bit of telekinesis. You are a ghost machine.
Well, there's also my theory on, I think we make poltergeists, and I think I've made a poltergeist a few times, and I don't want to sound. The thing is,
everybody has, whether they believe in this sort of thing or not.
I think that's for everybody, and I think I don't want to make sure I don't come across conceited when I say that, like it's not something literally any of the 8 billion people on this rock could do at any point.
Right.
I think it's possible. I think it's possible to direct that. And I think sometimes these particular places that we go investigate have the right ingredients, because we're coming in sometimes what would take the right mindset or intent. And I think just the right combination of emotions.
Thousands of people have left all that eagerness in these places.
Yeah.
I want to see something cool, and that's why I'm here, and I'm super excited.
Word.
And whether it happens for them or not, they leave, and maybe a little bit of that's left.
And other people have said that about Waverly too, about how that one feels like the eagerness of something's gonna. But we also saw something there.
Yeah,
I
we
can't
saw
explain.
some weird stuff, but what was it? Who knows?
I don't know.
It was awesome to see it. That's for sure.
Need my juice.
You have to check out that video if you haven't yet, those 2 videos actually. There's several from Waverly. A place I would love to return.
Also, that takes a group, man. That
Yep.
takes a team.
Yep.
And it takes looking at their website in January and like waiting and like just it's like buying concert tickets. It's the craziest thing to go to Waverly now. But some of these places have kind of gone a little little bit.
There's you know,
but they're still accessible.
Cash grab going on, but you know,
Some
if you
places,
have a big enough group, then yeah.
And you're gonna find that anywhere that for any type of tourist attraction, because there are attractions, but any type of community that has attractions, there's going to be places that suck like that.
Another thing that we're doing this year for the first time, my first time, is we're going to be at Wilson Castle.
Oh, yeah.
With Paranormal 5.
Yeah, dude.
Some great folks.
I like them a lot.
They invited us to be one of the teams that kind of helps folks investigate. And
we will be stationed somewhere. Yep. We will be leading you through the evening's investigation.
Imagine that terror for those people.
I know. You've got to face us.
I can't wait.
Dun, dun, dun.
Shaping young minds. No, well it should be.
It's everybody. It's 18 and up, I think.
Wilson Castle's beautiful. We haven't got to investigate that one outright yet, but hopefully sometime.
I love it there. I would like to. I would haunt that tower. I would live in that tower, and I was like, well, maybe I wouldn't.
It's a real beauty, ostentatious for its time, and especially where it's located. You would think this place is right? Another country.
You'd think it's closer to a city or any type of
it's still in really good shape.
A town, but it's a castle in the woods.
Yep.
It's a Victorian, that's why it's so crazy. It's like it's because it's this building you would expect built in like high Victorian bricks imported, yes, and you would expect it on like a city block in a downtown, and it's in the woods in Vermont, in the trees. Like you walk down a long driveway and you're like, whoa, and it looms out of the mist. It's one of those. Listen, we don't have real castles. We have Wilson castles. So bear with us. It's brick, but it's beautiful and supposedly haunted. And they have tower rooms, and I die for a tower room. Love it.
Indeed. The most beautiful stained glass picture window up in the attic area. Just giant. There's pictures on the Instagram of stuff. We've made a video there, didn't we?
Sure. No, we did not, sir.
We did not.
But we will this time.
We visited. We went to this event last year, and as
2 years ago.
Attendees, yeah.
2022.
And got to check it out, and that's where we met Paranormal 5. And
you probably heard of Missy Lathrop. She's also written for the Feminine Macabre as well. And the new volume the cover is released, and all the people, and it's coming soon. So listen, these people are awesome, and these people, we found out they were pretty like-minded to us as far as like the way we think about things, and we're not
very
like trying to sell you a hard line on this story or this particular thing. We think it's backed up by this light. That it's not one of those. Like anything is possible. Try anything. And they're a family group. Like they like each other, and they do this. Like
the kids are there. They're enjoying it as well. They're investigating as well.
And you can camp out.
One of their kids has the nickname Ghost Bait.
Yeah, well, you got to do that. If somebody you either dislike or your child. We could do that with one of yours. We
could. They all seem to want to. But
well, we have taken these children to cemeteries and been like, all right, you're going to follow along. No, but this Wilson Castle, the event, you can camp out overnight on the lawn in a tent.
Yep. We didn't do that last time, but we will be this time. Yes. So that's a camping trip.
Yeah, it is. Oh my God, it's got such a nice view. Oh,
that's lovely. Coming up in September. So if you're in the area and you want to come hang out, that'd be the place to do it. That'd be awesome.
That's the one, Proctor, Vermont.
So that's something a little different for us, and I think it's well past time that we try something like that.
Or otherwise, it comes down to planning with everybody, and we make our own thing, which is all. Yep. Okay. Here's the other thing. We know the paranormal out there on machines is like, it's whatever. But when you find the right people, it's a wonderfully good thing. And I think creating and working on creating our own types of overnights, events, and seeing a lot of different people take that on and do that. Beth, Skulls and Kittens, haunted happening. There's a lot of people, but there's also the Potato. There's also Haunted Nights, Steve and Dylan. You have so many different people branching out and making their own and kind of like making the events that they want to see in the wild that really weren't there. I got 5, 10 years ago, like only a decade ago, there weren't even nearly as many. You'd get some really campy, not so great thing. Like I've been on great ghost tours and I've been on hot, get me out of here type of things. Like, are you really? But it's neat to see all that. So if you don't like the events you see in the wild, I think it's only becoming more accessible and easy to, dare I say, DIY. Yeah, if you can paint a wall, you can put on an event. You might be able to put on an event.
No lick.
And she doesn't need anything to eat. She's eating anyway.
Geez. Yeah.
But that's parkour, the situation. We've missed any comments or anything?
Can you record while camping there, like static rolling on the grounds?
Probably. As long as you know where your stuff is, I think that might be something they could allow. They might have some equipment going overnight that they use too. I'm not sure. But it's a kind of event where you get all sorts of different types of things. So many kisses where you could do, like, you'll see a scrying mirror and also the digital and things that blink and different types of communication techniques that you wouldn't think.
You know why people are seeing ads? Because of us. We've done this.
Well, yeah,
we
because
have ads on our channel, but we should probably turn them off for live streams. I would think so.
They were never in them before.
If you're hearing this and not watching Ozempic commercials. That's our fault.
So sorry. No, I monetized live streams before, but nothing's ever happened until after it's done. It might be just on the phone, like people are saying.
Yeah.
Why do we have to be here? I have to be here.
So yeah, any other questions from you guys? I'd love to hear from you.
But as far as, oh my God, it's a Chihuahua.
Sean says we go back to Fort Ticonderoga. I think that's a great idea.
I would love it if they let people go in overnight. It's a cool place, and they do talk about their ghost stories and their history there. They do a ghost tour, I think, because they have the famous ghost story that has to do with Ticonderoga and Fort William Henry and Scotland. I said that on the channel. That was the last video we did. It's on. You can see it. You can see it. The part, yeah, they do it, but they don't do overnights there. Fort William Henry, you can, I think you can go over. I think you have to call and be like, hey, listen, so I'd like to do this, and then do one of those when you're on the phone, just cross your fingers. Like maybe they'll, there's all these places get calls like that. Like you have to remember, listen, I don't use the phone because I don't like it. I use it with my thumbs. I don't use it this way. I still do this. But he's the phone guy of the two of us. Have I ordered a pizza? I have, but I don't like it. But no, if you call, and some places you'll get lucky and they'll be like, yeah, sure, we do that.
Where's the location you've not been to before, but you'd really like to investigate? Asks Justin.
Wait, go out on the count of three. Ready? You say it. 1, 2, 3.
Pennhurst? I don't know. I was thinking. I'm sure I've mentioned a couple in the past.
Never mind that one.
Pennhurst would be wonderful, though.
I really thought you were going to say that like right away. That's why I was like,
it's definitely on my list.
Because it's right there, and it's the big one, and it's been on TV forever.
Yep.
Which, again, that might not be the way to measure it, but it's one that we've been bombarded with over and over.
I would say any across the pond, honestly.
There's
Justin asked.
Chillingham is sitting there.
Yep.
Sitting there.
I mean, we're going to get there.
You've all been in there.
We're going to get there. These plans are in the works right now, so we're going to get there, and that's a fact.
I'd also like to see Leap Castle there. That's in Ireland. Yep. Where else is there? There's so many places that I don't even know about.
30 East Drive. There you go.
Oh, you want to go there? Huh?
30 East Drive. Of course I want to go there.
They have beds. You can sleep there comfortably.
Yeah, I mean,
bring a blanket, but probably.
There's been so many crazy wild stories and reports there dating back to when folks actually lived there that have to.
That one reminds me of
can't be ignored.
Of the Hinsdale house because it's the same era, right?
Yeah.
70s when it's also such a reflection of pop culture and culture at the time in both countries.
He's never heard of 30 East Drive.
No.
Well, there's this place over there in England
I love how far. I was gonna see how far you get with that.
It's a flat. I know that, and
It's a house. It's a attached
it's
house.
a rather unassuming flat.
It's got
You
the
know?
attached style there with
Just
all those
goes to show why
brick-lined
any
yards.
place could be haunted. Any place doesn't
No, it
matter.
really can't. Well, why do people have like their 1990s new build construction? And they're
Yep.
like, I saw somebody in here. They were dead, and they're not lying.
It's absolutely possible that your Walmart could be haunted.
It could be.
I've long thought, why not? Maybe it's built on top of a burying ground. You know, a lot of them
Are
were.
you giving
a
that?
shocking number
Well,
were.
no, yeah. Listen, here
They
the
moved
reality
cemeteries
is.
for Walmart.
Oh yeah, the reality is if you like, I can think of a Kmart, a Walgreens, and a few other businesses that I can see constructed now that the company I did archaeology for, dug and found things, and the business is on it,
Yep.
and it doesn't.
See? Why not walk around there and see what you can
And
experience?
people do need grocery stores. Obviously, we don't want food scarcity, but people were everywhere. I don't know how else to tell you this. Like, it doesn't. History goes back as far as like white guys were like, oh, cool. But there were people here. So and then our history says when we try to take these pieces of indigenous culture and appropriate it to tell a story, that's not a good thing. The reality of ghost logic is there were millions of people on the continent and building cities and societies fluctuating for thousands of years. Are they ghosts? Do we write them off of ghosts? Do we just write them out of the picture? How do we do this respectfully? You see where that sits? You see how that's a hard one?
Mm-hmm.
Ghost logic.
30 East Drive turned Justin from a skeptic to a believer. So.
Yeah, right? I still remember Dale in a coal closet, like by himself for like anyone who has to go in the coal closet has to do it alone.
It's the only time I really remember seeing him like unnerved, unsettled a little bit. He's very, you know.
It takes a lot to unnerve a lot of the UK
reserved
investigators.
Fellow when it comes to how he investigates, but in that
I guess it depends
coal
on the
closet,
channel
he
you
was
watch.
he was a little nervous, and I want to experience that as well.
I'd love to stick you in a coal closet.
There's so many over there that the ancient Ram Inn.
Oh yeah.
There's so many.
It's a weird one, huh?
It's going to happen. We're going to try to hit as many of them as we can for whatever time we have and however we can schedule it. With a little help from our friends, hopefully.
Right, what's your speed limit over there? How fast can we drive across this sucker? Because we are going to drive in long distance.
I'll go every night or every other night.
Every night across time. Yeah, there's people that do that. I need to eat. Like, I need to stop it.
That's the dream right there. But it can be a reality, and we're working on it. So.
We're working on trying. Yeah, no, considering England has been taken from us before, but it also did happen, but in a weird way in 2022. What a hot.
Yep, that was unfortunate, but we need to get back over there. Didn't know it would take us 5 years, but.
That's so not fair. Wow, did somebody curse? I need to do something about that.
That's why it's well past time.
Somebody has cursed me and England together. I need to break a curse now. Well, that's what I'm working on.
70 miles per hour over there. Oh man, on the other side of the road.
That's mph, not kilometers. Yeah, we got to learn to read kilometers.
That's like 140 kilometers, I think, or 130 or 120, somewhere in there.
Yeah, in Celsius.
Yeah.
Oh.
In Celsius.
Why are we such a place? I can't. That's a whole nother.
I know.
Yeah.
It's interesting that we use the English system and they use the metric system.
It's us, Brazil, and Thailand, right?
Something like that.
No, it's.
I'm not sure.
Belize
like
are the only. Anyway, we live in this place. This is where we're from, and we like we like the weird things that you can't explain. What I've been liking recently are time slips. It's one of those things that always gets my goat, man. I read a story about somebody who loses time or goes to a place that didn't actually exist. I love that stuff. You can always tell me those stories in my DMs. I will check my DMs for that weirdness. Have you lost time? I've just been driving.
Not that I'm aware of. No.
I've never had one that, like, I've been driving listening to like a whole Lady Gaga album and been like, oh my God, I'm at the end and where am I? But that's normal. That's not like, oh, that's not freak out level.
I've never had that kind of experience, although a friend of mine claims to have. It was
Cool.
when we were much younger, 17, 18 years old. It's another one of my crazy Wisconsin stories, but we went to this abandoned farmhouse that was in terrible condition. And that dude was standing right next to me. We were in the attic of the house. He was standing right next to me. And all of a sudden, in a split second, I hear him screaming from the basement, "Ryan!" Yeah, don't know. He didn't know how he got down there. I don't know. I didn't see him disappear. I was like messing around with something and he was gone. Like he was right next to me just a second before.
You didn't like hear him go downstairs? No. Did you find stairs and get him out? Like how did this end?
The basement steps were gone. So he had to have jumped through the hole to get in there.
How did you get him out?
We pulled him out. We reached down, we grabbed him, and we yanked him out. So, yeah. That's the only thing close to a time slip I've ever been a part of. I'll never forget that. I should ask him about that again.
You need to DM some
Maybe
people
he has
about their
more
weird
information about that for me.
And it's the Midwest.
It was cool.
There's portals in the Midwest. I bet somebody out there has done some research and knows about portals in the Midwest. That's why there was a show about portals now. But listen, that freaks me out. That's weird as shit.
Yep.
That's weird.
It was creepy when he started screaming, "Ryan!" Like, what? It was my idea to go there, of course. So obviously I was responsible for him, but
leave it to this nice guy, this kind, friendly fellow to lead you down.
I do miss some aspects of being in the Midwest as far as the paranormal stuff. A lot of the weirdest things in my life happen there. So
maybe there's a lot of aliens out there.
Well, that's what the word is.
Yeah, right.
You won't mess with aliens with me, so.
Well, we live in an alien-ish area.
We do. We're not far from Whitley Strieber's communion. It's right up the road.
And we have
all of that supposedly
the
took
Pine
place.
Bush right to the south of us. Pine Bush, New York, not the Pine Bush. The Pine Bush Preserve that I talked about in the podcast is different than Pine Bush, the town of. Pine Bush UFO Fest. Look it up. I want to try to hit that stuff up. Somebody go with me.
I'll go.
Let's go.
You want to go with someone else, but you won't go with me?
No, but what if you have a show?
I'm ready to stargaze. I'm ready to do all that stuff. I'm ready to try to psychically communicate with some sort of extraterrestrial.
He's ready to open the portal. I'm ready to be like, is that a portal? Is that over there? Do you think? And he's just diving through the freaking thing.
A place near my mom's at a place called Fotheringhay.
I knew you were going to do that.
Fotheringhay. There was a famous time slip when a woman entered the church, as it was 600 years ago. Wow.
I want to do that.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to go 600 years ago.
Well, you want to go to England, so you better be ready to walk back. You sat on a loo.
Yeah, that King Henry VIII used.
On a loo in the Tower of London, and you could have
magnificent.
You could have time slipped backward to someone else sitting on the, or somebody coming in on you in the loo from 500 years before. Hop up, come here, hi.
Let me see you. Oh, jeez. Oh.
Chill out. She's a nice dog.
Yeah, time slips are incredible, and I love the stories as well.
Some of the cool stuff. So if we can try to get that to happen, listen, if you have any techniques on how to send yourself in or out of dimension, I think we know one person who probably can, but I don't think they can make other people do it. But I would like to just leave this planet.
Hey, I'm new to the channel. What are you guys discussing? Weird stuff. Time slips, alien contact, ghosts, poltergeist activity.
And a little bit of the occult. These are all the things that we do.
Yep.
These are all the things that we'd like to get into.
Hang out for a second. We got 7 more minutes with y'all.
Keep in mind, we do all of this with our own experience, like through our own lens, through our own perspective, which has to do with the ways we were raised and came up.
Yep.
And also with honesty and integrity. Listen, this is not a channel that's going to lie to you about like capturing an EVP and trying to tell you it's a specific person who died in this place at this time. My brain does not tie that stuff together with just immediate logic and goes, yeah, this is it.
My brain might think about it, but I know that I'm just making up a story.
I could be wrong.
I wouldn't want to put that in someone else's head that's like trusting me to to tell them what's going on.
You have the only
know?
thing you can trust us with is that we don't know, which is a wonderfully comfortable place to be when you are seeking the discomfort of the paranormal.
Well, we would love to know, but
it'd be cool to know, but I also don't want to know the answers to the paranormal or life's big mysteries, because I don't want the mystery to end. I want to keep going out there and trying to experience it and interpret it for myself.
We're here to experience.
Exactly. Yes, and we'll try to present it to you on this channel in any way we can, best way we know how.
Paramount to me personally is I'm here to experience. I'm not necessarily here for all the other stuff that comes with it. You know, the community is great until it's not great, and it's kind of better for me to just kind of pop in and out. You know what I mean?
Like he's going through a portal.
I want to go on the adventure. I want to experience that. I want to make the videos.
You want to go on the road trip.
Like to see what people think about the stuff. It's awesome.
Well, yeah, that's
I wish
why I
we
like
had
talking
more
to
of
people.
that. Like I would love some criticism and some actual like in-depth viewing of the material we put up. We recently had
Do you want a thesis back in the comments?
I don't know if you knew this. I know you knew this because you posted about it. But a radio station took our video and basically wrote an article about it and said nothing to us.
Why do they do that?
I don't know why but
it
would have been nice to
That's
talk
so
about our experience there. Like they took screenshots from our video and put it on their website and all. Like, come talk to us. We would love to.
You could have original content for your own article if you do that. But I don't know. It's a radio station thing. Radio station websites, at least in the US, are absolutely bizarre, and they have articles on every different topic, but it's also all pop-up ads, and they will just randomly yank your stuff and like make a
Rendlesham Forest.
Yeah, it's a UFO. Yeah,
I'll never forget that from the Unsolved Mysteries episode. Robert Stack era.
I'll stream that later tonight.
That freaked me out, but some of that stuff is like irrefutably weird. Like there are military documents to prove that something happened there, and it involved something unknown that was flying around. So
it's not just us, man.
One
Other
of the
people got the
earliest
UFOs
admissions
too.
of our U.S. military admitting that there was actually.
Have they really admitted it? Because every time they say something, everybody on the X app is like, this is not disclosure.
What scares me is if they don't know. Maybe they don't know either. That's the scary part. Maybe they really don't know what this stuff is. And
is it better if they know or if they don't know?
It's better if they know.
Well, what are they going to do? All they have are weapons. They don't have any kind of insight. It's the government.
Something might come here and find all meat bags very delicious. And all of our water very, very, very fun.
We've made movies about this. We're done for unless Will Smith rescues you.
We've done a fine job, poisoning our water and poisoning.
No, if they don't like water, you hit them.
But maybe they won't like it. But
signs.
That could happen at any moment. Really, I believe in that 100%. We are not alone in the universe, and that's to me is a fact. I live my life knowing that that's a fact.
I live my life going, God, is that a fact?
It's a fact.
That's why I'm like,
we're not alone. As to whether things can travel here, that's up for debate for most people. For me, it's not.
So you think they can travel here both? Do you
physically?
Both.
Yes.
Wait. Do you think things can travel here both physically and metaphysically?
I don't know about metaphysically, but maybe dimensionally.
Well, that would be metaphysically.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's so much left to learn. We might be able to do this ourselves if we, actually stopped fighting amongst ourselves and started focusing on furthering the knowledge of the human species. We could achieve that real soon. Look at all we've achieved, how much the world has changed in just 30 years. Can we please
achieve that soon? I would love to leave this dimension. I would love to skip this one.
1994 to now. The birth of the internet in 1994 to now. Look at how everything has changed. These things, how we're talking to you right now. That's 30 years of fighting and infighting, but some people working on trying to further our.
Some people went to college for computers.
If we all kind of had a part and a hand in that, the combined knowledge of the human species, we could probably already be traveling to other worlds. We have everything that we need here to do so.
But this isn't Star Trek, sadly, so I can't.
No, that was always an ambitious and a positive view of what the future of humanity could be. But sadly, this is what it is. And I do
Yes,
believe
sadly.
other worlds and other species,
That's why I like to see
humanoids,
ghosts.
can do it.
Yeah, so I want to see ghosts. I want to see and experience this stuff. It absolutely is mind blowing. No one is damn answers. If someone's trying to sell you answers, you tell them you got ice for them you got ice for the Arctic. You'll sell them.
Indeed.
You got, what is the one about selling a bridge to a,
Yeah.
what's that phrase?
I got a bridge to sell you.
Yeah, or something like that. You tell them that. You give them a good old timey phrase because no one has an answer.
I think
to
that's
this
actually rooted in somebody who tried to sell the Brooklyn Bridge, and the guy actually gave him money.
What? Whoops.
I'm pretty sure. I saw this a year ago on the internet somewhere. But yes.
Anyhow.
Anywho,
We've reached an hour.
We've reached an hour, and just wanted to update you all on what we're doing, and that
exactly.
we haven't gone away.
No,
things have been quiet, but
you got to know,
back in a big way this year.
This is what we do. This is still what we're doing. We're dealing with a lot of stuff with our personal lives, which just takes our time. It's not bad. It's all good, but it's time consuming. We're dealing with an old machine that needs an upgradery in order to make this stuff even better. And we have our little these are plans booked.
All sorts of plans.
Our schedule booked out.
Yeah, we're booked. We're booked out until September. So this summer is going to be all travel and all
doing fun things and a few returns
with some friends and by ourselves on some. And
we wanted to say, like, that's Ryan. I'm Amy. This is Amy and Ryan's Weird Adventures, and we do love that all these people have joined us and are here and see what we're up to. And if you like what you see, stick the heck around, because like you said, like, we just keep making stuff.
But we feel like we need to build the channel more around the two people with the name on it.
That's us, yeah.
And
we are approachable.
I think that collabs are amazing, and you get to meet cool people through it. But I think they need to have a purpose too. So hey, let's all go. They need to have. This person you're bringing in should have some sort of knowledge that you don't have to add to the collective. The collective.
Well, you can't always
team.
Rely on it, but you want to work with people that aren't from your same perspective, so they can look at
it. That's more what I mean.
Some
not so
different
much knowledge,
way.
But
different experiences, different types of people who aren't anything like you. I love people that aren't like me.
That's what we're doing this year. So
the UFO thing I'm talking about is Pine Bush, New York, like the town of Pine Space Bush. And it's not Pine Bush where the trails are and the water. It's the Pine Bush town.
Justin believes Bob Lazar. Very controversial.
He is.
Very controversial. I believe a lot of what Bob Lazar has said as well. I don't think that he was so much an attention seeker as someone that actually had some real working knowledge of things. He's been refuted by some, but some of those folks are involved with the government, so a little fishy, but I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But yes.
I don't know. Government, I just want to experience the thing for myself. I believe people, I think, before I believe any system of government.
Yep.
Dissent. Anyway, I mean, we're fine. It's good. We're fine. No, but alien stuff, I don't want to know what they know. They can keep their information. They don't have to don't disclose it. Just keep it. Fuck it. I
want to know.
Then an alien has to come down and tell you themselves, like, what's up. And that's
there's nothing to be scared of with
think
them.
There is.
There isn't.
Well, a lot of people would tell you otherwise.
If somebody wanted to eat us, which is ultimately the worst thing that could happen.
Men in Black.
I know, but we're just some sort of creature running around on this earth.
We are just food. Another animal. We're
that's
food
the worst
and
case
clothing.
Scenario. Don't get me wrong, that we all get eaten.
Soylent Green is people.
If you think that the U.S. government or the governments of the world are holding back some species that wants to eat us, no. If they wanted to, they would. That's
wait. Come back? If they were holding back species that wanted to eat us?
If you think that they know that there are extraterrestrial beings, that they have contact with these extraterrestrial beings, and that they're stopping them from wiping us out, it's crazy. We can't even pass a bill in this country.
No, I was going to say they can't do that. We
can't even pass a bill. Like, we're worried about banning TikTok
I know.
right now when the world's on fire.
I know.
So, no, nobody's holding them back. So there's nothing
That
to
would
fear.
be a very different reality.
Nothing
And one
nothing to
I
fear
think
at
I've
all.
seen on TV. But yeah. Arrival. I've seen that one, haven't I?
Yep. Can't even speak to animals on Earth. How would we communicate with the aliens from other planets?
Are they going to have?
But they may have had the advantage over us for eons by watching us. They may know exactly what we're saying.
Now it's like the South Park episode where Earth is the reality show.
Plus, we've been broadcasting. I forget how far that the very first radio broadcast that ever was broadcast on Earth has traveled through space.
Can't you hear it?
It's past the galaxy.
Yeah, now. But can't you hear you find it on the internet like what the first broadcast was?
Yeah. But it's still going. It's still moving through space. Isn't that cool? So everything else since then is also moving through there. And I guarantee that's loud.
All of those.
So eventually someone's going to hear us if they haven't already, which I believe they have.
All of the OnlyFans accounts just streaming into the universe.
Yeah. All of it, everything.
This is awful. Nobody's going to contact us. Going to be like, oh.
Right. So they have all of that. Like they're probably watching shows from the 40s and 50s and 60s and learning all about us.
Isn't that exemplified in the movie Contact?
I think so. But, it's a sound concept.
That one made me cry when I was younger. Anyhow. Oh, man.
Yeah. The first person they speak to is Donald Trump. Oh my goodness.
No, we have a problem. No. Put anything else out. Anything. Please. Put me out there. I'll take care of it. Talk to me. I'll bring us.
He'd probably be trying to make him an offer on their ship. Like, oh, what do you want for it?
How much is this worth?
I'll have my lawyer pay you. Wink, wink.
When we have space golf course, some of the world's weirdest humans, I'm being the kindest I can right now, will leave the planet. That's all we know. And when they can get to Mars, those jerks are leaving. So
you got to think that's what Elon's been working on, and I'm sure he has.
I don't know what he's working on.
Yeah. Anyways,
we are at 7 minutes over. We do talk.
We will let you guys have a good night.
Yeah.
We are going to resume ours, and thank you for being here with us, and we will see you soon.
We appreciate all. We want you to. We're still going. We put things on Instagram. I don't love TikTok, and I will put things there if I'm like, okay, fine. But otherwise, look for us on Instagram. You can follow his music at Ryan Full Dark Music, where he posts some of the coolest stuff he's making 2 floors down from me. Facebook, we're there. And it's really this thing. And if you want to see all the other stuff where I put content or snarky blogs, supernaturalspot.com is our website. I just redid it and made it all grown up, so you should go check it out. You can even hear our music. All right.
Stay tuned, guys. Good stuff's coming.
Thank you for being here. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.